sometimes this feels like so big, because it is. But it's like when it feels that big, it's just so weird, and yet like still really intimate somehow. I don't think that I know how to relate to things any other way than intimately. I really don't think I know how. It's like my mind is blown, but it doesn't matter. You know? It doesn't matter. It's my heart is still. It's just my heart. No matter what. So I have this idea. I just got it. You know, I don't know. I feel speechless and I'm tired and things, but I was thinking for like a half a second before I realized I wasn't thinking at all, and I just get to be impulsive. And impulsively was desirous of reading just any page. Pick a page from The Devil in the White City. I think it's a good day to do that. Yeah? Okay. Okay. The Devil in the White City. I loved reading this book. Okay, so where are we? Okay, so we'll read this page again. This is page 137. And The Devil in the White City. Okay. One day, Bloom saw an item in a theatrical publication about a novel Mexican band. That he believed Americans would adore. And he convinced the band's manager to let him bring the musicians north for a tour. Bloom's profit was $40,000. At the time, he was only 18. DeYoung. DeYoung told Bloom he would investigate the situation. Oh my goodness. 1 week later, he summoned Bloom back to his office. "How soon could you be ready to go to Chicago?" he asked. Bloom, startled, said, "In a couple of days, I guess." He assumed DeYoung had arranged a second opportunity for him to petition the fair's Ways and Means Committee. He was hesitant and told DeYoung he saw no value in making the journey until the exposition's directors had a better idea of the kinds of attractions they wanted. "The situation has advanced since our talk," DeYoung said. "All we need now is somebody to take charge." He gave Bloom a cable from the exposition company that empowered DeYoung to hire someone to select the concessions for the Midway and guide their construction and promotion. "You've been elected," he said. Goodness. "I can do it," Bloom said. He did not want to leave San Francisco. Even if I did, I've got too much at stake here to consider it. DeYoung watched him. I don't want to hear another word from you till tomorrow, he said. In the meantime, DeYoung wanted Bloom to think about how much money he would have to be paid to overcome his reluctance. When you come back, you can name your salary, he said. I will either accept or reject it. There will be no argument. Is that agreeable? Bloom did agree, but only because DeYoung's request gave him a graceful way of refusing the job. All he had to do, he figured, was name such an outrageous sum that DeYoung could not possibly accept it. And as I walked down the street, I decided what it would be. Little line. Burnham tried to anticipate every conceivable threat to the fair. Aware of Chicago's reputation for vice and violence, Burnham insisted on the creation of a large police force. The Columbian Guard, and placed it, let's go on a bit, 138, it's a little bit 111, under the command of Colonel Edmund Rice. Wait a minute. A certain someone I know brought some Trader Joe's rice to our house tonight and made that. It was like a distinguished announcement. A man of great valor who had faced Pickett's charge at Gettysburg. Unlike conventional police departments, the Guard's mandate explicitly emphasized the novel idea of preventing crime rather than merely arresting wrongdoers after the fact. Disease, too, posed dangers to the fair, Burnham knew. An outbreak of smallpox or cholera. Or any other lethal infections that roamed the city would irreparably taint the exposition and destroy any hopes the directors had of achieving the record attendance necessary to generate a profit. What? By now, the new science of bacteriology, pioneered by Robert Koch and Louis Pasteur, had convinced most public health officials that contaminated, oh my goodness, drinking water caused the spread of cholera and other bacterial diseases. Chicago's water teemed with bacteria, thanks mainly to the Chicago River. In a monumental spasm of civic engineering, the city in 1871 reversed the river's direction so that it no longer flowed into Lake Michigan, but ran instead into the Des Plaines River and ultimately into the Mississippi, the theory being that the immense flows of both rivers would dilute the sewage to harmless levels, a concept downriver towns like Gillette did not wholeheartedly embrace. To the engineer's surprise, however, Prolonged rains routinely caused the Chicago River to regress and again poured dead cats and fecal matter into the lake, and in such volume that tendrils of black water reached all the way to the intake cribs of the city water system. Most Chicago residents had no choice but to drink the water. Burnham, however, believed from the start that the fair's workers and visitors needed a better, safer supply. In this, too, he was ahead of the age. On his orders, his sanitary engineer, William S. built a water sterilization plant on the fairgrounds that pumped lake water through a succession of large tanks in which the water was aerated and boiled. McHarg's men set big casks of this sterilized water throughout the park and replenished them every day. Burnham planned to close the purification plant by opening day and give visitors a choice between two other supplies of safe water: lake water, purified with pasture filters and offered free of charge, or naturally pure water for a penny a cup. Piped 100 miles from the coveted springs of, I'm gonna stop right now, Wisconsin. There's something about horse-drawn fire trucks down this page, though. It's been many years since I've read this book. Hayden. God, what? Quincy. Is he here? Funny ears. Bloom. August. I feel like I have something I have to say. Designer of Bridges. It's been so many years since I've read this book. Sacrifice. Oprah's gorgeous. Like, so stunning. I can't get her out of my head. Like, in this just incredibly sensual way right now. I can't. How could you? Lady managers. That's interesting. Hayden, Chicago, lady. September. In September, without Hayden's knowledge, Palmer had invited women everywhere to donate architectural ornaments. This is ridiculous. I wrote it once, right? Right. That we're all part of one connective language. I meant it. And just for fun, let's just read the last sentence of the last page, because I'm like a cheater a little bit. So 432, and the last sentence is, I must confess a shameful secret. I love Chicago best in the cold. Cold black water. But for real, everything is one connected experience. And you cannot get away from it. And that's either the prison that we're in or the prism that we get to color our life with. Yeah.